was lazy when he worked here. He's lazy now with his ridiculous show where he proves time and time again that he doesn't know anything. He has no political identity. He is not an honest actor. He is not an intellectual. He is a fraud. But if you are someone who considers yourself libertarian, consider the fact that Dave Rubin is a public figure who represents you, and he doesn't actually genuinely believe in your ideology. And he's going around the country embarrassing you. You need to at least know your shit and know how to back up your argument. Even if it's like a BS argument, you need to have an argument. And he doesn't even do the legwork to be a grifter. Right? Look, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong about Dave Rubin, but I just felt that he, first of all, after he left TYT, he did lie about us. And that bothered me because we were still friends and I didn't understand what was going on. He did leave on good terms, so it was weird. And, he kept saying that he was this classical liberal, but had trouble defining what that meant and had trouble reinforcing or at least backing up some of the claims that he was making about, his newfound identity.
So Dave, there we have it in all its inglorious fashion, all the digs she had at you, then what she said online, which she herself, of course, was pivoting. What's your response?
Well, first off, I should note you don't have 10 years of videos of me saying anything about her because we did leave on good terms. As a matter of fact, when I told her I was leaving, we went to Zinc on Melrose. I took her out for sangria and she cried because I was leaving and I was bringing my producer with me. But putting that aside for a moment, if I can't explain any of my ideas, well, somehow this became a New York Times bestseller where I lay out all my classically liberal beliefs, and I've discussed them with you many times, and I believe in laissez-faire economics, and I believe in individual rights and all that. But what I would say, I think she's a little confused and perhaps was lied to by her employers about some of my behaviors or something like that. But I love the idea of anyone going through their own political evolution. One of the things is that people go through it often in varying speeds. So I always say some people swallow the red pill and some people snort it, right? Some people just wake up overnight and they fully see it. I think one of the things that you have to do when you wake up is realize that many people have gone through this before you and that you might have wronged some people on the way there. So I was very glad to hear her say that she might have been wrong about Dave Rubin. Look, all it takes, honestly, I know you know this, Piers, you've been in this game longer than me. You don't get any apologies in this business. And I don't like making things really about myself in that sense. But genuinely, if there was a mea culpa there or just a simple apology, maybe I didn't see things right about you, Dave, or whatever, I would gladly welcome anyone. And I don't mean to make this about her. If you're waking up to the ideas of liberty and limited government, especially post-COVID and seeing what this ridiculous Democratic Party has become, and you want to agree to disagree and dive into the ideas and have that battle, I will do that with absolutely anybody. So look, an apology probably, I would say, would be warranted, but I don't sit there and wait for it. And I think there are much bigger forces at play here than just the interpersonal battle of two people.
Out of interest, I mean, if I could make it happen, would you debate her?
Yes.
Uncensored?
Yeah, 100. I said that on my show after we played that clip. I'd be happy to do it with her live, just the two of us in studio. If you want to be the host or moderator, I'll do it under any condition because again, I think it now represents something that could be unbelievably good for America.
Yeah.
Progressives who have called everybody racists and bigots and impugn motives. I mean, people just watch that compilation right there. Always going after people in the worst nature. If you've now woke up, and from what I understand, I've seen some of her tweets, she's now being attacked the same way she attacked me. So I would say, much like Bruce Willis said in Die Hard, welcome to the party, pal. But we can be on the same side, even if we still have political disagreements. Okay, we don't agree on the marginal tax rate or the immigration rates or something like that. If you love America, if you think this place is fundamentally good, if we still have a country that will offer more opportunity for any other place and you want to be part of that, yes, whatever the circumstances are or the moderator is or isn't, I'd be happy to do it. But if it's you, that would be great.
What's really interesting about what you just said, I totally agree with you, by the way. But if you look at Trump's picks for his cabinet, for example, they are so diverse in terms of their views right across the board. I mean, if they all got together, they'd be arguing about all sorts of stuff, which I'm all in favor of.
Now, we're building context right now. All right. He's speaking to David Rubin right now, and he showed Anna, what's her name? Kasparian from the Young Turks. and she clearly don't agree with David at all, right? But what you're about to see is Cenk get all on his bully pulpit, thinking that he is taking up for Anna when he is not. She don't need any. These women, let me tell you something, man. These women don't need anybody taking up for them. She could stand on her own 10 by herself. She don't need him at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. But what Piers Morgan is pointing out is that Trump seems to be more fair than a lot of these idiots on the right and on the left. That's where we're getting at. And I've been telling my kids their whole lives, life is not fair. Whenever they come home talking about their teacher unfairly gave them a certain grade or unfairly pointed them out or singled them out in class or in gym class or whatever the case may be, didn't give them an opportunity, I let them know all the time that life is not fair. I had to let them know that because that is the absolute truth. So if you're accepting, if you're expecting fairness, then you're delusional, in my opinion. Because one thing, I may not know nothing about politics, but one thing I hang my hat on is being a good parent and being a good husband. All right? Somewhat. No man is, 26 years of marriage, you know what I mean? We had our ups and downs and everything, but one thing I hang my hat on is being a good parent and husband, okay? So that's why this is important to me, talking about fairness. But Cenk is just something about that guy, man, that just, I don't want to slap the hell out of him, but I would love to see somebody just say, Cenk, just come here, brother. Just come in and put a little bit of baby powder on their hands and just pow, just slap the hell out of them with the baby powder palm. We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach.
This kind of rigid ideology where you have to all sign up to one viewpoint about everything. There'll be people in there that completely disagree with RFK, for example, about some of his views. Good. Have that debate. Of course. Have that debate. This is what democracy is supposed to be built on.
Of course, this is the beauty of what Trump is doing right now. And really, you can connect that so deeply. I mean, I would recommend anyone go back on YouTube. You can find Donald Trump on Phil Donahue or Oprah or a whole bunch of these shows back in the 80s, and he sounds like a Democrat. Yeah. So Donald Trump is not a traditional conservative. I would actually argue that Donald Trump's own political evolution, probably, Piers, is much more in line with guys like you and me than say George Bush or Dick Cheney or someone that might, you think of as a sort of standard bearer for republicanism. So the fact that he is now going to bring in people who quite literally were running against him for president only 6 months ago, RFK Jr., and someone who ran against him for president on the other side, Tulsi, only 4 years ago, that shows you what's bringing them together. What's bringing them together is a love for America, a realization that we have been on the precipice of giving away the most precious, beautiful experiment in human history on how to free people ever. And I think Donald Trump actually now sees that. I also think that post-assassination attempt, I think he has a renewed fervor and sort of realization of what his role in life is. And that's the opportunity that, again, not to make this about Anna specifically, but anyone that's going through a wake up. We know so many people have woken up. I mean, look, for me, I think it was 2016. I did that Why I Left the Left video for PragerU. You want everyone to get there the day you do, but you have to be gracious when people come around one way or another.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely. And that's the thing too. I've woken up. A lot of you have woken up, right? A lot of my friends, relatives, people who follow me on Instagram, people who follow me on TikTok, they're not quite ready to hear that Van is in support of a side that they haven't given their objective ear to. That's all that is. That's all. That literally is all that is, because they're really not dedicated to a side or not. Let me tell y'all something. Most Black people from the hood, such as myself, the only presidents that they like are the dead ones in their pockets. That's it. And they wanted so badly to like the first Black president, which was Barack Obama. And I don't care how many things you point out about Obama's administration that he didn't do right is not going to resonate with Black people from certain areas too much, because they are just so locked in and they don't pay attention enough. They don't pay attention to politics. They don't watch the news. They're not watching these hearings, these congressional hearings. They don't give a damn about Speaker Mike Johnson putting a CR bill out there, spending bill out there, or what it entails. They don't care. They're just like, the government going to close down if we don't do it. We need to do it. We need to hurry up and do it. We need to hurry up and do it. That's it. That's it. They don't care about what's in that 1,547-page document of some good spending and some pork. They don't even know what the hell pork is. All right, let's move on. So Dave Rubin is building. I'm just playing this so that you guys can have some context.
Let's bring in my other panel members, because some of them are definitely going on a very interesting journey. So Cenk, I mean, many people saying if you carry on down the road you're going in the last few weeks, you will be a fully fledged member of MAGA before we know it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of that. And I'm not like Dave Rubin, a giant sellout fraud
Wow.
who changed all of his positions and is totally useless, and it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow. Really? After all Dave said about coming together?
Yeah. No, I'm not got no interest in coming together with utter frauds like Dave Rubin. So, brother, you telling me that when you were on the Young Turks, you were Mr. Progressive and you agreed with us 100%. Now, all of a sudden, you agree with Trump 100%. You're not saying something nuanced like we are. Hey, you know, when the guy gets shot at and he puts his fist up, that's courageous. When he does the McDonald's photo op and it works fine, no problem, right? If he wants to cut the Pentagon, great. Those are progressive positions. Anti-corruption, progressive position. Anti-war, progressive position. But you change all of your ideology overnight and you expect us to believe that that's real? I don't think it's real at all. And I want an apology from you for all the crazy, outrageous lies that you told about the Young Turks. When is that going to happen, huh? Wow. And when are you going to admit that you changed all your positions for money? Okay. Well, what position do you still have that's in any way a so-called classic liberal, you fraud?
Dave?
Piers, it's barely worth responding to this ridiculous buffoon who's the joke of the industry. I will say this, Cenk, I haven't spoken to you in 10 years. I haven't spoken to you in 10 years.
Fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud or a joke. I think Dave Rubin is, for what it's worth, I think Dave Rubin is one of the most influential and significant voices out there right now. And I admire his honesty about the journey he's been on, Cenk.
Piers, I appreciate that. But, you know, the thing is, what Cenk just proved is exactly what everyone in America, and I would say all over the world, is getting over. Nobody wants what he just offered up there. Not only does no one believe it, and he had it prepackaged and ready to go, and it's complete drivel. Yes, I sold out. It's just it's so nonsensical. Again, Cenk, I'll gladly send you a signed copy of the book and you can read all of my thoughts. And if you're anti-corruption and you're anti-war, you should be on the Trump train. But your endless hatred, the division that you sow, calling everyone racist and white supremacists, all of that stuff, it's why you're not respected. But I don't mean to get into the personal side of that. I'm talking about now something that culturally has shifted, and everyone can see the grift that you're up to, trying to sort of dance with the thing. But it's just not necessary, and I don't think that many people will buy it.
Well, Cenk, let me put to you, Cenk,
Okay,
something that Laura. Hang on, Cenk. Cenk, hang on. I'm gonna read you something just to see your reaction. But Laura Loomer called you out on X, as you know, and she said this: "You are the radical left, Cenk Uygur. You're a con artist and an opportunistic grifter who's gotten rich off demonizing President Trump, calling his supporters fascists and Nazis, promoting open borders, glorifying Hamas, and pushing conspiracy theories about Trump for 9 years. If you want forgiveness, get on your filthy knees and pray to Allah, because you aren't welcome on the right and you aren't ever going to find a redemption arc no matter how hard you pander." And she goes on and on. I'm going to keep calling you out every time you try to move an inch closer to many on the right, because you're too dense and too dumb, because they're too dense and too dumb to decode your subversion, but I'm not. So look, there are lots of people on the right who think that you're on some great move here to, as she puts it, wiggle your way into the middle and over to the right, so you can then poison MAGA with your, as she puts it, subhuman political takes. Your thoughts?
Now, before we go into his thoughts, I just want y'all to understand it's okay to evolve. It's okay to learn something and be like, you know what? Maybe you're right. I'm going to look more into that. It's okay. Like, you're not stuck. Nobody's holding a gun to your head saying that if you change your ideology or you change the way you think, that we're going to squeeze this trigger. It doesn't work that way, bro. Also, it's the pot calling the kettle black. What the Bible say? For every finger that's pointing at you, it's like 5 pointing. I mean, for every finger you point at somebody else, it's like 5 pointing back at you. Come on now. Everybody change over the years if we're objective enough. And if we don't, then we're just stuck on stupid. So the same things that he's trying to say that Dave is guilty of, he has also been doing himself, low key. Like, he's throwing rocks but hiding his hand. He's slowly but surely getting onto the MAGA train, but he's saying, no, I'm just pointing out the good stuff and that's it. But Dave, that's all he's doing. He sounds like a little ass kid, man. And he's the biggest, sweatiest one on the damn panel, and he's acting like a child. I don't get that, bro.
Yeah. Okay, so look, this is people like Laura Loomer and Dave Rubin are the exact problem. And I think actually somebody else on this panel that was part of the solution, that's Dave Smith. And I want to come back to that in a second. So when you have people like Dave Rubin switch all of their positions, what happens is when you go to do nuance and you say, hey guys, hold on, let me explain. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, go pleasure Trump again. Go pleasure Trump again.
Do you know that
he goes from Bernie to Trump and pretends? Come on, brother.
I tell people what I believe in.
What do you believe in? You believed in something yesterday.
You
don't believe in anything today.
Yeah, what position? What position do you think I hold that I don't honestly believe? Name one. Yeah.
Can I answer the question? Can I answer Trump?
Yeah, what position do I say that I believe that I don't really believe? Go ahead.
Brother, you went on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. You went on Tucker Carlson on Fox News and said gay people, that the fact that the fire department was recruiting gay people was why there was forest fires. You're a national embarrassment, okay?
Right. If anyone
you pleasure those guys for a living.
You can pull up the clip tomorrow if you want. Okay? I was talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, that you shouldn't hire people based on their genitals or their sexual orientation. And we now all know that. You have been one of the prime pushers of all of this neo-racism. I believe in meritocracy, that whether you're going to be a doctor or a firefighter or a basketball player or anything else, you should be hired on your qualifications, not your genitals or sexual orientation or skin color. Yeah. That's actually America. So you can keep trying here.
And the fact that he's not even trying to understand him just shows that he's one of them idiots that's in class. And you know, like when you're arguing with a bully, the bully don't want to hear reason. They just want to hear a reason to fight. Let me say that again. The bully don't want to hear reason. They don't want any compromise. They don't have any objectivity. They just want a reason to fight, a reason to just get it over with. Let's do this. So if somebody says we need gay firemen, we need a whole fireman, crew that's gay, that's clearly somebody trying to push an agenda. Cenk, that's dumb as hell. Why in the hell would anybody want that in the first place? If there are gay firemen on a team of straight firemen, then yes, let's do it. Prayerfully, everybody on that team earned their position. That's it. But do you really believe that if there's a fire and a whole bunch of straight men run up in that house and it's only gay men inside of the house, that they're not going to try to save the gay men that's in there? That the only way them gay men will be saved is if we have gay firemen? That's just stupid. So whenever people was posing the diversity, equity, and inclusion arguments, and they was talking about, we need more black pilots, we need more black women pilots, we need more gay firemen, we need more. No, we don't. Why do we need that? For representation? Why? Little boys and girls who figured out that they're gay at the age of 7, they need to see some gay men in all of these different occupations in order so that they can feel good about finding out that they're gay. Or being told that they're gay from their teachers at such a young age, because that's the side that I ran away from. That's the side right there. This way of thinking that Cenk is trying to throw on Dave is the reason why so many people have run from the left and voted for Trump, because this dude don't even listen.